In my brain, I'm the RPG horrorist, supreme lord, king, ruler person. I know that there are a lot of people who are way more obsessed with it than I am, but this is simply the reality I chose to live in. A few years ago, a bunch of well-known RPG horror titles started releasing definitive versions of their games on Steam. For money. So I decided that, for the well-being of my subjects in the RPG horror kingdom, I'd let them know which ones are worth purchasing and which ones aren't. So I'm going to compare the free version of the game that was released billions of years ago and the paid version to verify it isn't just some big old waste of money. I'm also including a tiny synopsis in case you don't know the game and want to check it out blind. First decree of I don't accept criticism. I probably missed something. And the second decree of I don't accept criticism is this is just about games that had full free-to-play versions and then decided to create a paid Steam version. So no Omori, Fear and Hunger, To the Moon, etc. etc. I'm also not including Yumeniki because it isn't really a remake, it's more inspired by it. So roll the intro and let's jump right in! Snooping around in the witch's house, and also the protagonist doesn't speak. It's the same game with new assets, same story, same endings, same choices, same puzzles. Maybe there are some tweaks here and there that I forgot, but I wouldn't bet on it. And $14.99? Do not buy this. The original assets aren't ugly enough for this. Something that I am going to say and goes for all the games that I don't think are worth it. Maybe you wanna buy it because you love it so much and you wanna give the developer a gift and, thank them because they mean so much to you. Yeah. Buying this game is basically the same as buying the developer 3 ko-fis. It doesn't even have achievements. Mad Father, the story of a cute girl and her mad scientist father who's cursed by all the subjects who suffered under his ministrations. Before starting this one, I have to confess, I had an unhealthy obsession with Mad Father as a kid. This one was the one for me. Sure, I was also obsessed with Yumeniki, but in Yumeniki there's so much to explore and so many ways to rotate the game in your brain, not to mention the countless fan games. Mad Father, on the other hand, is extremely linear, and there are no fan games. And I played it over and over and over and over again, on top of watching and rewatching playthroughs. So take that into consideration. When it was first released on Steam in 2016, Mad Father was just the same game but with new assets and ugly illustrations. I swear it had one extra puzzle and the Dio scene at the end as a reward for all the gems instead of that misao one. I can't remember if the price back then was $9.99, But the way 15-year-old me got angry at this whole situation, you think that I'd exchange my kidney for that game. This is what you get now when you choose to play the original on the game launcher. Now, the actual remake, I do think it's worth it. As mentioned, I've played through Mad Father about 89 times too many and 57 times too plenty. So the game's walkthrough is practically imprinted into my brain. And luckily, in this new version, almost all the puzzles are new or extremely tweaked versions of the old ones. There's a new mechanic to get rid of enemies that grab you instead of just punching Z as fast as you can, new story bits, and a new game mode where you play as adult Aya. Are the illustrations ugly? Yeah, but overall, I liked it. This game is basically Corpse Party, but shorter, sweeter, easier, less convoluted, and less overdone. I think that what comes to everyone's mind when they think about Misao is the neglected younger sister of Mad Father. But that's not true at all. Yes, it was rougher around the edges, but what everyone forgets is that YouTubers picked up an extremely early version of it, and then never thought of it again. I think the version everyone played didn't even have the other playable character available. Anyways, at $4.99, it is very worth it, especially if you didn't keep up with the updates throughout the years. There are new ways to randomly die, new assets, the developer's new ugly art style, tweaked puzzles, everything you could ask for, really. No, but for real, I just have to complain about this tiny nitpick. If you don't want spoilers, skip to the next game. You know when Misao shows up in the limbo dimension or whatever and she looks ugly? Yeah, this is the illustration in the definitive edition. The OG isn't like the Mona Lisa or anything, but it's so much more effective. I just hate the developer's new art style. Moving on. Girl has amnesia and she's extremely attached to her pocket mirror. It says that it's inspired by Ib and Mad Father, but honestly, I think this would be categorized as a fan game if Ib's developer allowed fan games. And the Steam version is the same game. It is the same game. And okay, $20. This is the priciest game on the list. And it's just an asset update from the free original. I literally used a node walkthrough when I got stuck because it is simply the same. But here's the thing. Ever since Pocket Mirror Classic was released back in 2016, I was like, this shouldn't be free. It's so beautiful and well made, and it was released after the golden age of RPG horror, so it didn't get anywhere near the recognition it deserves. I'm 99% sure that Paranoiac by Yuri received more attention than Pocket Mirror. So I'd say that Pocket Mirror is worth it, considering the amount of work that went into Pocket Mirror and the fact that it was released at first for free. The developer deserves it. No. By the way, Lieat is about a girl dragon who eats lice, and I cannot for the life of me remember what alicemare is about. Fairy tales, I guess. At least it's stated that the game will remain free on VJ Person, but you can support the developer and blah 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 blah. They're each only $2.99, so I guess it comes down to personal taste. Me, I've never enjoyed this developer's games, so I sometimes just think about my 6 doubloons that will never return. Cute kid with a light bulb, and they're the savior of this universe, apparently, and you've only got one shot to make things right. The one-shot remake expanded quite a bit on the 2014 version, which was already pretty good, by the way. I don't feel super strongly about this game to be like, yes, buy it, yes, yes. But I think that this fact speaks more for the game than if I was crazy about it. Because even at $9.99, I don't regret my purchase. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't play through the OG all the way through, so I don't know if the puzzles changed as a whole. It seems that they're the same though. But it's kinda similar to how I feel about Pocket Mirror. The game is so good, I'm not mad. If you'd like a more in-depth view on the differences between the two, I recommend this video by Playplant. Games about having to deal with some creepy little dudes. So this is a similar situation to lieat and alicemare. The games up for free and on Steam for $2.99 each are identical, and it comes down to you wanting to support the developer out of the kindness of your heart. But I actually like the Strange Man series. I'd even buy Paranoid and Mermaid Swamp if they were ever put up on Steam. I know that it's kinda difficult to make these things be scary, but sometimes this developer actually succeeds. The games have interesting stories, are creepy, and they have achievements. The Boogeyman and the Hanged Man even have voice acting.
Whew! Warm at last. I just about froze to death in your pocket there, Will. You hear that? Let's have a talk. Oh, you know he's gonna be mad.
And now, to close this video off, the one that's most representative of RPG horror to some, the only... Yeah, I was never the biggest Ib fan. I guess the story just never gripped me, and what you had to do for each different ending was just too complicated for my little 11-year-old brain. But I do like it, so I didn't go through it just because I had to. $12.99. And it has some changes aside from a visual aspect, a few different puzzles. I am regretting my purchase though. I am regretting it very much. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah. And I'll make more videos if an anvil doesn't fall on my head. Bye!